to realize yourself as the formless awareness, that's like instantaneous, it's spontaneous, it just arises. Oh, there I am, the light of awareness, aware of itself. Ah, now integrating that light into your body, okay, that's the practice. Realization is like a lightning bolt. Oh, hello, right? But the body has so much conditioning that now we have to integrate that insight that took like a snap of the fingers. And that's where we come into consciously and intentionally opening the heart chakra so the soul can literally crawl out and get into this realm.
What is it about the heart chakra that enables the soul to occupy more of the being? What is it like the characteristics of the heart and the heart?
It's a unifier. It's highly magnetic and it's smart. It's so intelligent, and we have Heart Math Institute and all the sciences now to show us that the field of the heart space is so much greater than the mind. And we love the mind, but we want it to come to its rightful place, which is resting on the couch of the heart. And they work together as a beautiful team. That's the marriage, the masculine and the feminine. They come together and they get married in the heart. And that's where we have a unification, and you're moving as a unified being.
There's this there's that saying, the journey from the head to the heart is the longest journey you'll ever take in some ways. And like you said, sometimes you have the instantaneous sort of flash realization. From
Yeah.
here, how does one start to integrate these shifts? How does one start to anchor themselves into their heart? What does that process actually look like?
All
Or the
right.
way you invite it in?
Yeah. Step one is observe the observer. You got to be aware of yourself as the light of consciousness. And that's a meditation. And that's a practice itself. But the more you're able to turn your awareness inward and stabilize it as the observer, then you can drop that anchor into the heart space. So it's just your awareness is right here. Your focus is right here. And you're intentionally feeling into love. You're intentionally feeling into gratitude and abundance instead of what your body wants to go into, which could be worry, insecurity. Well, what's going to happen? It's like, wait, we're going to create what's going to happen by choosing love. And that's a practice because we practice our depression, we practice our hatred, we practice our insecurity. So now we have to practice coming back to the heart space so that mind, body, spirit is one moving part.
Yeah, that's going to trigger some people, isn't it? The fact that it's a practice to reinforce our neurological patterns that don't necessarily serve our highest good.
Yeah, but that's okay. I love you guys.
Yeah, it's can you share that? Because for some people, can you share more about that? Because I think for some
Yeah.
people that's yeah, I think
But
the
yeah.
choice is a really powerful one when you start to understand what's actually
Hmm.
going on underneath there.
Right, right. I mean, unless you're going to have like an Eckhart Tolle awakening where like you just have like a wow, all of it's just gone one night. You're going to have to integrate this. But even Eckhart Tolle had to integrate. It took like 2 years to integrate, looking at books, talking to teachers. So, guys, your awake is awareness. You're teaching the body. The body is Gaia. So we got to move out of the immaturity of like who's doing it. There's no doer, the choice thing, and understand it's like it's you, the light of existence, and this is your creation. This is Gaia. So obviously, we have to speak to it. We have to communicate with it. Otherwise, it drops frequency and goes plugged in to the unconscious matrix. And then we're like, why am I confused? Why do I not know what to do? Because we're not consciously choosing. We're not intentional. We don't know who we are.
You have mentioned, and I will get further into along on the steps, past observe the observer, well, not past through observe the observer. Um, but you also always talk about developing a light body at this particular moment in time as well. Can you describe that to us? Like,
Yeah.
what
So
is our
it's
light
all.
body? And yeah,
Yeah. All of it goes back to the heart space. So you're just operating on a different frequency. It's intuitiveness. So that's what happens when you move away from the mental linear thinking and you open the heart chakra. I mean, it's a whole woo, your aura, everything transforms when you come here. This is like a machine, like an engine. You know what I mean? Like it's powerful. So you run on light. So like right now, as I communicate with you, there's not thought forms moving through me. It's pulses out of the heart, like the heart speaking, and I'm translating it. And that's how we operate as a new human. It's highly intuitive, highly intelligent. I'm not pre-planning tons of stuff. It's very spontaneous and flowy because who you really are, is intelligent. I mean, you're the cosmic consciousness, you're the knower.
There's an element of trust in there that's quite deep, though, because the egoic mind must really struggle with the lack of preparation. It wants to coalesce, it wants to know, it wants to control.
Right. And I really like to move away from even the word ego. It's not,
Yeah.
it's cool. I get where it comes from, right? But it's like, but where is the ego? Isn't that just another idea floating? And then we just start to see there's God, there's consciousness that's conditioned or not conditioned, dense conditioning or more light conditioning. So what we're calling an ego is really just conditioning, it's patterns. That's
Why
it.
is that so important to recognize?
Oh, it's so important, you know. We our whole spiritual arena talks about the ego, but it's psychology. I learned about it when we studied Freud in psychology in college. And he did cocaine, like a lot of cocaine. And so then we start to ask ourselves, why am I taking a term and kneeling to it as if it's reality? And this is where things really start to break down. Thoughts, words, teachers. Where's your trust and what are you trusting?
At this particular juncture in the conversation, I can also feel that ego then crystallizes something, whereas looking at it the way you described earlier keeps it a bit much more workable, much more fluid, much more
Yeah.
breakdownable and rebuildable. It's just thought forms.
Yes,
It's all just patterns, conditioned and unconditioned.
that's it. Isn't that more fun? Yeah.
It's slipperier. It's definitely
Ah,
slipperier.
ooh, I like that though.
Very interesting. So from there, and one of the things also worth tuning into around, okay, step one is to come into the heart chakra and into the heart space is to observe the observer. I think naturally from, and this is really trippy for people that are not used to having a conversation with someone that's experienced non-dual awareness, that the light of awareness itself has so many innate properties to it, which is as long as like can you describe the fact that just by bringing the light of awareness to your thoughts and your space you naturally drop, because there's again the thought patterns of like being a doer in reality is like, okay, so I bring my light of awareness to like observing the observer, and then what do I do? And it's like, oh, actually no, you just start to slip in. And it's
Yeah,
like
it's like a
that
receptivity. Yeah,
that doesn't make sense to the mind for the average
yeah.
person.
I get you. It gets you. It's a receptivity. It's already here. So that's why I say you're just turning it inward, right? But just becoming aware of awareness is it's more of like a neutrality. You know, you're detaching from all of these ideas and imaginings. It's like this very deep openness. But to have the consistency of the body knowing love and emitting that frequency, that's where we drop the awareness here. Feel the love. Feel it. You can turn that up like a volume dial.
In your
Yeah.
experience, why do people turn away from love? Slash, why do you think there's such a collective neuroses around sort of being blocked from this, what seems to be this natural state?
Right, because when we fell from grace, seemingly, yeah, it was dense. It was fear. This planet was ran by fear. It was ran by men too. We were in a very masculine era, and now we're moving more into like a blend of the unity. But yeah, I mean, think about it. It was based on war, greed, conquering, taking over, right? Building countries. Yeah, that's why it was just the planetary consciousness at the time. But we have to know there's other planetary consciousnesses that don't have this kind of frequency at all. They know who they are. They operate out of love and unity and the understanding that we're all source incarnate. So that's what we're moving into, back into the galactic consciousness of understanding. Like we are everything, everyone, all the time.
And it does sound chaotic when you describe it that way. There's a beauty in the chaos. Um, and then again, I sort of land back in this conversation around, okay, is that where I find order and structure? Is coming back to the intelligence of the heart that you're describing almost as this intelligence. You called it a machine before.
In a way, you could say this is chaos appearing orderly. And as you, the observer, come in and you put your attention on something, that chaos turns into this. But underneath what looks like this, dancing particles, dancing light, moving so fast. And that's where we can start to shift because it's both. It's both.
Hey there, Inspired Evolutionary. If you absolutely loved this, well, then here's a full conversation with this guest on the Inspired Evolution podcast. Check it out now.